This is how Bayonetta runs on the older consoles. This three-way comparison showcases the game running on Xbox One via backwards compatibility, on Xbox 360, and the Wii U. And as you can see, performance is not really holding steady at all. On top of that, the image quality is limited to just 720p without any form of anti-aliasing, so it doesn't look that great. Oh, and for good measure, here's the PlayStation 3 version stacked up against Xbox One. Remember this? Yeah, it's still one of the worst ports of that generation. A terrible version of Bayonetta to be sure. No thanks.
Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this?
There are game stability problems, game stability problems, game stability problems. There's also frame rate issues, frame rate issues, frame rate issues, frame rate issues.
Do I have everybody's attention now? Rendering all completely irrelevant. I feel a little bit of recapping is in order.
Put my mask on here. Now if you look up in the corner, it's showing about pretty low. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. So it's about 60. 60 is definitely playable, but it's not ideal. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 60 is definitely playable, but it's not ideal. Put my mask on here, put my mask on here, put my mask on here.
Game stability problems, game stability problems, game stability problems.
Which of course is not very playable, not very playable, not very playable. Now if you look up in the corner, it's showing about pretty low. 33 frames per second, 33 frames per second, 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable, not very playable, not very playable, not very playable.
There's also frame rate issues, frame rate issues, frame rate issues, frame rate issues.
60 is definitely playable, definitely playable, definitely playable, definitely playable, but it's not ideal, but it's not ideal, but it's not ideal, it's not ideal.
If you are experiencing visual delays in the game, they are typically caused either by connectivity issues or low frame rate, low frame rate, low frame rate, low frame rate.
Frame rate issues, frame rate issues, frame rate issues.
Put my mask on here, put my mask on here, put my mask on here. Now if you look up in the corner, it's showing about pretty low. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 33 frames per second, which of course is not very playable. 60 is definitely playable, but it's not ideal.